We are currently at the archaeological site of Sanxingdui. It's a very, very famous site. So basically, this is the first Chinese character. It's called Shu. It's the kingdom that this archaeological site was founded, and this is the first known character in Chinese culture. All these little ones on the side are also the same character, but written by different people. But we're gonna go straight into the tour, chat. We're gonna go straight into the tour. I'm gonna give you guys the walkthrough. I hired a really expensive guide to ask questions, and I have the whole thing memorized in my head right now, and I'm gonna pair it back to you little by little, so you don't have to come here yourself. But honestly, I still recommend you come. So this is the first Chinese character ever invented or discovered. It's over 4,000 years old. So let's keep going. This place, I used to think it was 2,000 years old. I lied. It is 4,000 years old. It was first discovered in 1920, where they discovered jade, bronze, and a lot of artifacts that are extremely detailedly created. It's crazy. And so they only recently opened this bigger museum because there was a huge site discovered in 2019. They discovered 6 sacrificial pits. My theory is that there was a chance that it was not really sacrificial pits. It could be that they were destroyed and then another civilization took over, so they buried all the artifacts and stuff. So that's the theory. They were able to create intricate bronze, stone, jade, and all these really cool figures. There are no weapons in this whole museum. So this is a jade stamp. It's like a jade stamp. There are no weapons in this museum. Everything is basically artifacts, chisels, or things for the temple. So nothing to kill. There's nothing to kill. In ancient civilization, this was 4,000 years ago, okay? The circle represented the heavens. So all these circular things were from the temple, and they represent the heavens. This little square figure represents the earth. So all the squares that we see today are going to represent the earth, and the circles are going to represent the heavens. So this is the heavens, this is the earth. I forgot what this was for. I'll read about it right now. It's like a jade pendant. Jade pendant? Yeah, but the squares represent earth, and then the circles represent heaven. The first discoveries look like this. There were 6 sites. In 1920s, I'm pretty sure one of the guys was a European dude who helped the process of unearthing everything. There used to be a smaller museum, but this is now a bigger museum. So, alright, so this is how they tell what civilization it's from. This discovery is 14, 15, 16, and it's how deep in the soil it is. So modern is 1 and 2, a couple hundred years is 3 to 4, a couple more hundred years is 5 to 6, and they keep going. This was the first 12 to 13 was the first official dynasty of China. So this is around 2,000 years before that. So 14, 15, 16, these ones down here. 16 is where they found these items. Yeah, the different layers. But this is how they tell how old it is. Carbon dating as well as how deep in the soil it is, basically. This is a imitation of the site itself. This is what it looked like when they discovered it. There were 2 pits, and they slowly unearthed all of it. It was found in all these pits. If you look at this thing over here, that mask is a replica, but they had masks like that. So it's really creepy because a lot of these designs look very similar to Native American designs. My mom thinks they're Persian because this is the first bronze statue. Do you guys see this? That's crazy. The theory is they made mud sculptures, and then they put the bronze on top of it, but to have that much detail means that they have to carve it to a certain extent. So they have extremely intricate bronze designs. 4,000 years ago, kid, guys. This is 4,000 years old. And at the back, some of them have this little hole. You'll see that there's a little hair piece. So all the holes, they had earrings. If you look over here, they had earrings. And they also had hair pieces. These are for the hair pieces. Some of them have braids. So they found ivory, they found jade, they found bronze, and gold. So this is jade. They had a lot of jade over here. They found ivory, which means that potentially there were elephants here. So this one has a braid at the back. Each one had different designs of the hair, and each model looks slightly different. Their heads are also squares, and all their features are extremely exaggerated. It's super cool. But yeah, these are the unearthed sites. They found there's huge ones too. So these are the smaller ones, but there are huge ones. If you look here, there are huge sculptures that were unearthed. So I don't know if you guys can see the design. They have intricate designs on this. It's a little bright, but I don't know if you guys can see that. This is basically a you know how room dividers? This is a room divider holder. So I'll show you guys the front. So this is supposed to hold like a thin mesh. So it's a room divider holder. Back then, they also did have more peasant people, and they designed these after those peasants, and they would kneel on the floor to hold the room. So it's a room divider holder. There'd be like a room divider in between his hands. So I was very confused because they have huge butts. There's no way they're Chinese. Did you see that? They would have interesting hand symbols, and it was very confusing. Look at that. They have hella booty. It's so confusing. Proceeding onwards. So they basically built these extraction sites. They built these rooms to extract everything so that they wouldn't oxidize. This is the first of its kind, where they basically isolate the air to take out these artifacts, and without them oxidizing and getting completely destroyed. So this huge area is just used to take out these artifacts. It is believed to have been the capital of the Shu Kingdom during that period. So this was apparently the capital of Shu Kingdom. They had city walls, and they had a lot of technology that was unimaginable. So this is a ancient hot pot maker. So basically it's an ancient steamer. So the legs are actually empty. So you can put water into the legs. Once you put water into the legs, you could boil it with the flame at the bottom of the three legs. Put a fire there, it boils the water, and you put the food in the center, like a steamer. So it's basically an ancient steamer. Potentially this could be the ancient hot pot maker. Oh, also this is a little figurine. So they have a ton of these little figurines with really intricate details. Lots of details. Meaning so distracted. This place is not good for people who get easily distracted. This is a pig. The tour guide told me this is a pig. It's really cute. She said it's really popular because it looks like the thing from Angry Birds. The pig. So apparently back then, people would not have tables. They don't really have tables. So this is they sit down and they don't have to touch the ground, and then this is how they ate. They put their food here. And then also at the bottom there's an eye. It's a reoccurring symbol for them to have a lot of birds' wings and eyes. These were used for fishing, basically. These are fishing tools, fishing balls. And these are probably toys. I personally think, I didn't really ask her what these were, but I think they're toys. All these chicken designs, piggies, they're probably toys. There's no way that's not a toy. That looks like a whistle, one of those things you kids can blow. So this is the beginning. This is not even the cool stuff. These are all their pots and pans and all these designs of vases that they had back in the day, different types of water pouring. A lot of these designs, it seems they think a lot of these sites were from the temple. So these are things that they found for potentially the temple. There were no weapons made here. They were all sacrificial processes and different things related to deities. So it could have been related to a temple. So it could have been a temple that got destroyed, and it seems everything got buried into 6 pits. So maybe it was another civilization that took it over, and killed everyone, and then put it into a pit potentially, because it's organized into a couple pits. You know what I mean? This is basically, it showcases the kingdom. There were different walls around the kingdom. There was a river that ran through the kingdom, the Shu Kingdom, and there were walls around the side of the kingdom that protected them. The walls were made out of mud. It's almost like Attack on Titans. Wall Maria, there's walls. They were able to figure out how to cut jade. So as you can see, a lot of these, you could tell they were cut. So it's almost back then, the theory is they used animal rope to cut the jade slowly with water and just brute force, and there's cut lines on the jade. So they were able to find a way to cut jade. But yeah, this is the beginning of the bronze sculptures. A lot of these faces that were discovered, a lot of different designs of the faces were discovered here, and this is the most famous design. They don't really know which one was more powerful, which one was weaker, but some of them had holes at the back for hair pieces, some of them didn't. So there's bronze sculptures with coiled hair, wearing a helmet. There's bronze sculptures with braided hair, with a hairpin, a flat top hat of some sort. There's bronze sculptures with like a flat hairstyle, with like an upright hairstyle. There's like crested hats. There's a kneeling figure who holds up like the room divider. And there's a kneeling figure. It's 4,000 years old, yeah. So it's a lot of things that are 4,000 plus years old. See, this guy looks really happy. Most of them don't look that happy, you know what I mean? They don't usually look that happy. Like, they usually look like this guy over here. This is like an angry looking human being. Like, this guy looks kind of angry too. Look at that. Look at that. He's very angry. Most of these people are very angry looking. But look at that guy. This guy looks so happy. So the tour guide said that there were like wood designs that were probably destroyed for the earrings. So there are parts, like the holes in the areas were probably for some other design that wasn't made out of bronze. Hence, over the years, like it got destroyed. Here's one with like the hair piece. So this one has like a hole, like you know the ones with the holes in the back? They have like a hair piece. There's supposed to be like a hair piece attached onto the back. It's like a hairpin. So the ones with a hole at the back have like a hairpin at the back. But yeah, they discovered so many of them. They all look slightly different, which is why it's very confusing to me. Like there's more chat. There's so many. You need to come see this for yourself. They also have like different hair designs. Like look at this guy. His hair design is completely different than the previous couple people. This is also completely different hair piece, like hairstyle. They think this guy was a emperor or a wizard. So she kept calling it a wizard, but like it was a shaman potentially. It was like a shaman or a king. They're not super sure. And so if you look at like the details, he has like winged birds on his outfit. And it almost looks like he's wearing like a winged cape bird outfit. The theory is he's supposed to be holding onto ivory, but since it's like gone and it probably like disappeared over the years, their theory is he was holding an ivory like a tusk. And there are a lot of bird designs on his outfit. So like I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like a lot of wings on his outfit. And back then they believed that winged birds were basically the messengers of the heavens because they're the only animal that can fly. So this is like the stand that he stands on. You can only see the details if I like zoom in like this. He also has 2 leg anklets. There are wing designs on his outfit. And he's supposed to be holding onto an ivory, but he is apparently a wizard. This is huge, by the way. It's huge. This is a better image of what it looks like. Yeah, so this is a gold sculpture. It's a sculpture with gold plating. The same face, but like with gold plating. Yeah, the detail is insane if you look at this. Bronze and gold preserved really, really well. So yeah. So this is one of the artifacts that cannot leave this museum. It is a gold scepter. It's almost like I think the tour guide said it was used by the wizard. There is a fish right here. There's a fish design at the end of the gold scepter, and there is a bird. And the theory is that the king or the ruler at the time of this kingdom, he was named after a fish. So this might have been his golden scepter. At first I thought it was for fishing, and then the tour guide's like, why would you use a golden scepter for fishing? So it might have been his scepter, his golden scepter. There's a bird here, which means connecting the heaven and the earth. So the bird represents connecting heaven and earth. And the fish is maybe potentially the ruler at the time who was named after a fish. This is basically the lid of a treasure chest. So there's like a person here, like there's a person here. And then there's a dragon. That is a dragon design. So it is the top of like a treasure chest. It's used to to put your valuable goods inside. So it's like the top of a treasure chest. Yeah, of course. This is like a dragon design. So dragons back then were also very lucky, auspicious animals. And then there's also a phoenix on the side. And this is a human. I don't know what he's doing, but he's like on his hands. But this is the top of a treasure chest. This is the bottom part of the treasure chest. So like that thing connects to this. And then it's like to hold like a treasure or like goods that are valuable. Okay. Yeah, so this is the cultural exchange. So their theory is so there's a river. So this is where the site is basically. But there was a small river that connected. And the theory is a small river is how they used to trade all the goods. So the jade was found from like even further South China. but we're like right here. So this is like the map of like the trade routes that potentially where they got all the items. So potentially they got the jade from southern, even further south China. And then they had the bronze technology, which is created here, right here in Sichuan. Okay, there's a second floor, so we're gonna go to the second portion. I'm gonna try to get through this ASAP so that we don't get kicked out or anything, okay?